Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. I hope everyone had a safe and happy July 4th. And I hope those of you who are in a heat wave right now, like us, I hope you are finding a way to stay cool. I have been asked to show how I make my roses from a 5-petal paper punch. And this is the punch that I have. You don't have to have this one. This is a very old one. I think it was made by, it's called Paper Shapers, EK Tools. But any 5-petal punch like this would do. And the measurement of this one happens to be about a little over, actually it's 1 7/8 inch wide. And I apologize for my lighting. I'm trying to keep the shades a little bit drawn to keep the heat out. This is not my invention by all means. I saw somebody else do this on YouTube, and of course now I can't find her video, so I apologize to whomever that is. But there are a lot of videos out there. This is just how I do it. There's several ways of making flowers. I'm not saying this is the best, but I will try to do my best to show you how I make them. I also have made some smaller ones. These are a little bit more difficult to make because they are so tiny. But these I colored with Copic markers. I colored the little petals before I put the flower together. And I can't find my punch, but this is the size of the petal I used for that one. And again, this was a paper punch that I have. This one measures 1 1/8 inch wide. So that's those. Now the first thing I do is I punch 5 petals. I'm using just plain old Walmart 110-pound cardstock. You don't have to do this, but what I like to do is cut a little divot in the petal. It just makes to me it makes just a little bit prettier petal. And I'm using picked raspberry distress ink. Again, you don't have to do this, but I'd like to just go around the edges. Now I've also made these in just plain cardstock. This one is a cream colored rose. So after you do that, I'm just using a crochet hook. You could use the end of a paintbrush, anything that's cylindrical, to bend the petals. I just put it in the middle of the petal and just bend it a little bit. I just want to work the fibers of the paper. The first petal is the hardest one to do. It's just awkward. And I'm actually using some white glue, barely art glue. You can use art glitter glue. You can use your heat gun if you are safe with that. I tend to burn my fingers with the heat gun, so I use the white glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two opposite petals. I'm going to bring them together and glue them, and then try to get them to form a little bit of a bud. So I'm going to place my glue where the petals meet. And I'm going to put them together and hold it until the glue holds or takes hold. Like I say, this is probably the hardest part of all. Can't see what the camera's picking up on, but I hope I'm getting this in frame. Okay, so once that is in place, you're going to take the other petals and you're going to start bringing those around. So this one I'm going to bring there. This one I'm going to tuck underneath the edge of that petal. This one I'm going to tuck underneath the edge of this petal until they go like that. And then I kind of work them. Just keep working them around. And that's what you'll end up with. Like I say, this part is the hardest part, making the flower. So I'm going to bring these out a little bit so I can glue them. I'm just going to put the glue in the middle of the petal. The same with all of them. And again, I'm going to, I apologize for being so clumsy here. And put that underneath, and I'll bring this one and put that one underneath. And again, keep working them to get it as tight as possible. And then just hold it while the glue sets up. Now the other thing I use to make the flowers is some tweezers. So when this is all set up, I'll take my tweezers and I will just pick up the edge of the petal and just bring it back a little bit. Just give it some kind of shape. And that's the bud. Doesn't look like much now, but it will. What I'm going to do with this, I'll put this aside for now. I'm going to take my next petal. I'm going to take my crochet hook and I'm just going to work these petals a little bit just to break down the fibers. Now on these, what I want to do is I want to take on the left side of the petal, I'm going to take this and I'm going to just roll it just a little bit. I'm going to do that for all the petals. again, that's just get them, get the fibers a little broken down there. I'm going to bend these up. I'm going to take my bud that I just made, and I'm going to glue it into the center of this petal. To save some time, I've already done that, and what you'll end up with is something like this. Now what I'm going to do is, on this petal, I'm going to bring these up, and I'm going to go all the way around the flower. And again, I'm going to make sure that I have all the petals going the same way. So I'll bring this one up, and I'll put this one I don't know how to say this, but I'm going to tuck this one under the left side of this petal. I'll take this one and I'll put that one under the left side of that petal, so that all the way around. Again, I'm going to put the glue in the middle of my petal. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring this one in. And I'll do them all at once so I can hold them in place all at once. It's a lot easier that way. And you're just going to work them around and hold it until the glue takes hold. I hope this is coming out on camera. This is my second time of trying to film this. The first time my battery ran dead. So once the glue sets up, again, you're going to take your tweezers and you're going to take the edge of the petal and just turn it back a little bit. So you get something like that. Your next petal, this is petal number 3, you're going to take your petal and you're going to, again, just curl the petals downward with your crochet hook or whatever you happen to be using. You're going to take your bud, you're going to stick it in there in the center. You're going to make sure that the petal edge is straddling the petal that you're gluing it to, if that makes sense. And now it gets much easier because you're going to take this petal and put a little bit of glue down near the base in the center. You're going to bring that up and hold it. this one. I'm going to bring it up and hold it. And you're going to do that all the way around. And you can start seeing how it's starting to look like a rose. I hope everyone in Texas is doing well. I've been watching the news and this heat looks brutal down there. I have a grandniece in Texas, so I hope she's doing well and staying in air conditioning. I hope you don't lose power. Now on the last petal, I'm just going to tuck that edge into the first petal. I'm going to take this one, and again, this is petal number 4. I'll glue it in the middle. Like that. Again, I will have the petals straddling, so the petals on the bud will straddle the petals that I'm attaching it to. And that sets up, you'll have something like that. And it's the same procedure. You're going to put some glue at the base. I'm going to bring it up and try to do two at a time here. And I'll do that all the way around. And if you like this one, it's when you just put on 4 petals, you could stop there. You don't have to do 5. As far as that's concerned, after 2 petals, you would have a nice little rosebud. So when you go around this whole rose, you'll end up with like that. Now on the little ones, I only use 4 of these little petals. So that's basically all there is to it. I hope that helped. I'm not used to doing tutorials, and my setup isn't the best. But if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. And I'm going to come on in a couple of days and do a video on some cards that I made, so I hope you tune in for that. In the meantime, have a great week, everyone, and try to stay cool. Thank you. Bye.